Are we going to see price increases when the S23 series phones come out? And I think the answer is no. And I think that they can't afford to. Listen to me and hear me out on this. So when it comes to their phones, especially the S series, they're bread and butter, and it's their most exciting phones of the year. And I think that they can't really afford to hike the price because they need to maintain the momentum, and they're probably going to have to take this on the chin, even though I'm sure it's kicking into their profit margins. But if you take a look at a lot of their financials over the last year, they've had a lot of record profits, and especially in the mobile division. So I don't think that they're hurting that bad when it comes to overall money, especially when it comes to the mobile sector. So what I think we'll probably see is actually there's a rumor that we might be getting an expanded storage option. Well, not option, but baseline. So the last series of phones, we got the 128 baseline, but they had a lot of sales in the get-go where you could get the next level up storage for the same price, effectively giving you like a free 256. So I think that they're going to use their prowess and their ability to basically absorb some of this cost. I think we're going to see the baseline go to 256. If it doesn't, I'll be surprised. The rumors seem pretty solid, and it makes sense because here we are now in the year 2023. We've been using 128 for a little while, and yes, Samsung adopts higher storage options faster than Apple does, and this gives them an opportunity to say, hey, we've got a higher baseline storage, we give you more, therefore buy our phone. Especially if you take a look at, let's say, the S22 Ultra was $1199. It's $100 more than what we paid for the iPhone 14 Pro Max, at least here in the US. Now, outside the US, they actually had some price increases. So I think they know that the USA is one of their biggest markets, especially for selling the flagship phones. They know the economy is not great. They know that people are not going out and spending a bunch of money. But coming off the tail end of 2022 and having really good sales, especially when it came to the S22 Ultra, that's what I fully expect to see this year. And I've been right on this one for the last couple of years, especially when it comes to Samsung and comes to Apple. It's really hard for them to up their prices because they're already charging so much, and they have pretty decent profit margins built into them. It's not like they're making the phone and it costs them $850 and they're selling it for $1199. It costs them substantially less than that. So I think that they're going to continue to put the pedal to the metal. And if you've seen any of the leaked images, you can see right here, these drop. This pretty much looks official. And I think they look good, especially that lilac something color. Either way, whatever color they're calling the purple, I dig it. Now, there are fundamental changes, of course. Well, fundamental differences, really. You take a look at the Ultra model, just like what we have now. It's got the boxy, squared-off appearance. It doesn't look like there's been a lot of significant change, although it does look a little flatter on the sides. So there has been rumor we might not have a curved edge display. I'm waiting to see if that happens. But when you look at the S23 and S23 Plus, they're more rounded and they're very iPhone looking. Like they definitely are very iPhone looking, but they look nice. At least if this is what we're going to get as an end product, I think it's a sharp looking phone. I would love to see that 256 baseline, especially for the Ultra. Now, it wouldn't surprise me if they had the 128 and the S23 and the Plus and they gave the Ultra the 256. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But at the end of the day, I really wish they just bring back expandable SD card storage. We haven't had that with Samsung since the Note 20 Ultra, and there are actually quite a few people that hang on to the Note 20 Ultra and don't want to upgrade because they don't want to lose their expandable storage, and I do not blame them whatsoever. So I think the price will stay the same because, well, if you take a look at the competition, especially like the Pixel 7 and the 7 Pro, Google knows what's up right now. They're going to get some more sales probably out of this because what's going to happen is the S23 is going to launch. It's probably going to be $799 for the S23, probably be $999 for the Plus again, and it'll probably be still $1199 for the S23 Ultra. That looks great until somebody also walks into the same carrier and they see that they can get the Pixel 7, reputable, nice, got great accolades all over the place, so many Phone of the Year awards just here recently, and then if you can get a Pixel 7 for $499, and you can get a Pixel 7 Pro for $749, that makes it really hard to go buy, let's say, a $999 S23 Plus or an $1199 S23 Ultra. There are significant savings there. Already there's an undercut at $899 for the MSRP for like the 7 Pro. Then you drop it to $749. That is a big difference. So I think that there's a lot of pressure on them to not raise their prices. I think maybe if Google didn't have such a banner year this last year, or last couple of months anyway, with this Pixel 7, maybe that wouldn't be so difficult. But there were actually a lot of rumors here recently that there was not a solid delivery on the number for the price yet because they were trying very carefully to get the price right because of Google and their lower cost flagship phones. So I think if I were a betting man, I would say that the S23, S23 Plus, S23 Ultra will remain at the same price. Now, I could be wrong. And with the year that materials cost a lot of money, labor, everything else is through the roof. I mean, shoot, it's like $6 for a dozen and a half eggs down here in Houston right now. But I talked to some other folks and they're like $8 or $9. Prices for a lot of things are really through the roof right now, and it makes it difficult for folks to go out and buy these expensive phones. So what I expect to see is I expect to see good trade-in value, and I expect them not to raise the price. Now, again, I could be completely wrong on this, and maybe I am, and I hope that I'm not wrong because I'd really like to see the price stay the same. We already kind of got a win a little while back because I think the S21 Ultra, it was $12.99, if I remember correctly, and then we went to $11.99 maybe it was the S20 Ultra. One of those. Last couple of years, it was $12.99, and we brought it back down to $11.99. So let's keep it there. We'll keep it at $11.99. I'd like to see them go to like $11.50 or $10.99. I really think that they'd be more competitive at the $10.99 price point because if you look at their direct competition, the iPhone 14 Pro Max at $10.99, if you could sell the S23 Ultra at $10.99, you get 256 baseline storage, you get the new 200 megapixel camera, the Snapdragon 8 Generation 2, also you get the S Pen. Man, that would be a compelling phone. That would be a really compelling phone. And yes, there is a place for expensive, like luxury flagship phones. I'm not saying they need to get rid of the $1,000 phone. I don't like paying that much because they're really expensive. But at the end of the day, they have some pretty good deals on them. So I'm expecting to see some good trade-in deals. I'm hoping that if we're trading in the S22 Ultra, I hope that we see $1,000. Probably around $900 to $1,000 is what I would expect. I'm also expecting to see probably about $200 of Samsung credit. And right now, they had the reserve your pre-order campaign, which they do before all their phones that come out. If you go ahead and use the link that I have in the description, you can go put in your name, put in your email address, and guarantee yourself an extra $50 of Samsung credit if you decide to pre-order the S23 Ultra whenever it comes out. Well, it should be any phone. It should be the S23, the 23 Plus, or the Ultra. Also, it looks like we have a new Galaxy book coming out. So if you do the reservation for pre-order, if you get any device, you get $50 of Samsung credit extra. And if you do multiple devices, then you get $100. So I don't know if it's really worth the extra $50 to go ahead and get an extra device unless you're already planning on one. I'm not certain that's convincing anybody. But the free extra $50, if you're already buying one device, that's a great way to go. So I've already done that, and I think it's a great deal. And then we'll get the extra Samsung credit when we pre-order, so you can get like a free watch, or you can get a free, watch bands, free case, free percentage off on a tablet, free all sorts of things. Power break, wireless charger. That's what you use that for. So yes, they might give you $1,000 trade-in credit if you've got, let's say, an S22 Ultra. You still got to pay some out of pocket, but then you get the extra freebies, so you can outfit yourself with all the nice things that you want to get. So that's my thought process on it. I think that we're not going to see a price increase. Hopefully we don't have a I was wrong moment. I really don't want to have to come back and make that video, but I think I'm right. I've been right so far. I think I'll continue to be right, and for the reasons I listed in this video. So that's all I got. What do you think? Do you think that we're going to see the 256 baseline storage? Do you think they're going to keep the price the same? I think so. We'll see what happens. It's only a short couple of weeks away, February 1st. So that's all I got. If you have any questions or comments, please go to the comment section. I will get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and a little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.